people do. If I have an issue with you, if I believe that you are right, and I know that you are, regularly from that podium, and your boss is lying regularly on Twitter and in person, I'm going to tell you to your face that you are lying.
She's saying, Kevin, basically, this president should be sort of immune to criticism. It shouldn't get away with it. I mean, the president, to President Trump and his spokespeople, this is all about the president, who feels that he is under attack. They feel they're under attack. Does it trouble you that the president views himself as a victim here?
Yeah, I think you have to recognize that comes with the job. Every single president is criticized, and even the most popular president, if you're at 60% approval rating, 40% really, really don't like you, and they're constantly criticizing you no matter how much success that you have. So that just comes with the job. I think one of the big problems with this response, too, is that it goes against the central arguments that him and his supporters have always had, which is President Trump is strong. President Trump backs down from nobody, and he's unafraid. And so to assume the office of the President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief, leader of the free world, and then argue that that you are somehow a victim or somehow put in a bad position because of that, it's hard for people to square that. I mean, his strongest supporters are sort of very aware of the weight of the office that he has and the power that office has. So the idea of playing victim, I just think it runs counter to some of even the strongest beliefs of his supporters.
Look, I want to read, this is from the New York Times, from none other than Mr. Charles Blow's columnist, and he's talking about his obsession with President Obama. Obama haunts Trump's dreams. One of Trump's primary motivators is the absolute erasure of Obama, were it possible, not only from the political landscape, but also from the history books. It's like a 71-year-old version of Jan from what I would call the Brady Bunch. Obama, Obama, Obama. Trump wants to be Obama, held in high esteem. But alas, Trump is Trump. And that is now, and has always been, trashy. Why do you think the president is so fixated on his predecessor? He is obsessed with him.
Literally obsessed with him. And, I can only tell you by his actions. I don't know what's happening in his head. But there's a clear obsession. It is very personal. I mean, every president is in a way, unless you're a part of the same party as the person who preceded you, is your rebuttal to the person before you. So you're always going to have some comments about, how you are different from the person who came before you. But his attacks preceded that. They were always very personal. It was about, he wasn't born here. He didn't write his own book. His white friend wrote his book for him because he could not possibly have been smart enough to write that book. He said that. That he didn't go to the schools that he said he went to. It was always very personal. That he was not controlling the black population as the first black president. It's another level of thing, and it's about him, his personal feelings, and whether or not he is being treated with the same reverence as Obama, and if not, he wants to erase him.
But you have to conduct yourself in a way to be treated that way. Like I said at the beginning of our 10 o'clock hour that, yes, the office of the presidency deserves respect, but the person in it should respect.
Nothing about him approaches the grace of Barack Obama.
So why is he obsessed with Abby? Is he obsessed with President Obama? Very smart, Harvard. His looks, very handsome, very classy man, very dignified, very graceful. People loved and respected him around the world. Why is he so obsessed with President Obama?
It's a good question. I think one thing I should bring up here is there's the sort of origin story of some of this, which is the White House Correspondents' Dinner that Trump attended, in which he was the subject of much of.
But he didn't like him long before that.
He didn't like him long before that, but one of the things that Trump himself says he hates the most is being laughed at. He was laughed at in that environment, and he was the subject of the person who he had sort of gone back and forth with, and they'd never really come face to face until that point. And after that, it sort of planted the seed for his presidential run, and his presidential run was all about being the opposite of Obama. His presidency, to Charles's point, has been about being the opposite of Obama. One of the things that is what the Trump policy has not been particularly predictable, except in that if there is something that Obama did, Trump is probably going to do the opposite of that, and that is pretty much the one consistent
Thank you all. When we come back, did you know this was supposed to be Energy Week at the White House? Didn't think so. The only thing getting attention right now, the president's shocking tweets, his behavior. So just how bad is his Twitter habit?